This morning.
Fantastic.
Miss Netisha Alie-Grant, she's joining us just to share a bit about a book that she would have recently published. I noticed actually, if I looked at the date on which it was published, it was January 18th, which was Election Day. Right, so the book was published on Election Day. She's our first guest this morning. And like, as I said, our first guest on Tuesday, she's also an author. The name of the book was The Essence of Life, God, Them, and Me. She describes it as a guide to living an abundantly balanced life and says it's suitable for teenagers and adults alike. We invited her this morning to tell us a little bit more about it. Unmute your microphone for us, Miss Alie-Grant, and welcome to your wake-up call. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
And
I'm doing you.
Happy to have you with us this morning. First off, of course, just tell us a little bit about what this book is about.
So the book is based off of a podcast that I do, which is called The Essence of Life. It's where I share about 5 key areas of life, which is your health, your finances, your spirituality, your personal development, and your relationships. So the book was actually prophesied by 2 men of God. They said I'll be writing a book, and the other one said it would be based on the podcast. And so after that, the insight began to flow, and I was able to document it into something that looks like a very interactive book. It's not just for reading. It has some spaces for you to write, and it also makes reference to specific episodes on the podcast, so you can have something to listen to even while you read.
And how much have your own experiences shaped the content of this book?
That's an excellent question, actually, because I was a timid people pleaser and negative thinker who had very limited knowledge on these various aspects of life. I was able to learn various things, do research, have conversations with persons who are versed in these subject areas, for example, health and so on. And because of all the things that I've learned, I'm thinking the average person does not know these things. They don't know how to take better care of themselves, or they do not know how to manage their finances. They don't know simple words like financial independence, budgeting, and these things. So after learning these things along the way, I have decided to create something like a little package. So put all of that in one. So that's why it's suitable for teenagers and the average adult, or even the educated, unbalanced adult. So it could help them to see these major aspects of their life and how to just put it all together so they could live better.
Very, very interesting. And who is your audience? Is there any specific demographic you're hoping to reach?
And this is what I'm saying. Based on the podcast demographic, I have persons from teenagehood all the way up to their 60s who actually tune in and listen and follow. So this is basically a very wide-based audience. Majority, though, lean towards the 20s into the 40s age group.
Very interesting. And was it difficult to get this work published? I'm curious about how long it might have taken you to put together all the content and what you might have had to do in order to get it together and to get it out there.
It was extremely difficult. There were times I wanted to give up. It actually took me basically last year, but it could have taken me a few months if I had was able to beat some procrastination, some tiredness. I am a woman in ministry also, so I have quite a lot of things that I'm juggling, but also I have a 2-year-old daughter, so all of that stuff. It was very difficult. It's not easy to be able to take content and just put it together into one book and try to make sure that you share the exact thing that God wants you to share. Also, just being able to be precise with it, choosing the right content. And I am also editing my own book. So that was the extra work that I had to put in. It was very difficult, I'll be honest with you.
Okay. And just finally, tell us how people can get this book.
So this book is actually self-published on Amazon. I also have copies right here in Antigua. That person can contact me to get their own copies as well. It would be signed, of course, if you are in Antigua.
Very interesting. Miss Netisha Alie-Grant, author of this book, The Essence of Life, God, Them, and Me. We thank you for joining us on the wake-up call this morning, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me. God bless.